welcome to this video. My name is Chris, exercise for low back pain specialist from christopherhole.com. In this video, we are going to be looking at running. Is running causing your low back pain? Now, there are a couple of ways we can identify if running is causing your low back pain, and one of them is tight hamstrings. Now, there are many different reasons for tight hamstrings. And one of the reasons for tight hamstrings is because of your hips. Now, in the previous video, part 2, I talked about the hips being shock absorbers. So when the heel hits the floor, the shock goes up through the leg, and obviously other muscles in the leg absorb some of it, but hips are a major shock absorber, and they dissipate some of that force or some of that shock before it gets to the low back. Now, if your hips aren't working properly, your gluteal muscles or gluteus maximus, if they aren't working properly, that shock goes up through your pelvis into your lower back. What is also a problem here is your pelvis becomes unstable. Now again, if your gluteus maximus and other hip muscles aren't working properly, the hamstrings have to take over and stabilize your hip. Now, because of the way they're positioned, they aren't very efficient at keeping the pelvis stable. So what the hamstrings are doing is they're becoming tighter and tighter and tighter, or seem like they're becoming tighter and tighter and tighter. It's just because they're overactive to stabilize the pelvis, so when you're running, you're not increasing the pressure on your lower back. So what we have to do, or what part of my job is to do when I'm working with you, is to re-educate your body to make you hip dominant when you run. Because when you become hip dominant, your hips are firing, they are strong, and they have enough endurance to cope with the amount of running that you're doing. And what that does, that releases the pressure on your hamstrings, and they automatically become a little bit looser. Okay? So if you want to know how to do this, what you can do is you can book a 60-minute session with me. It's an exercise for low back pain assessment where I will take you through a full body assessment. I will look at the way you run. I will look at the way you move. I will identify where your movement is compromising your low back pain, so what movement is causing your low back pain, and I will start to sort of put steps in place where you will be able to, you can take home with you, or you can continue on to the exercise for low back pain full course, which will in a way sort of guarantee a reduction in your low back pain, if not overcome it completely. And what we'll be able to do is start putting steps in place for you to reduce, if not overcome, your low back pain. So if that's something that you want to get involved in, just go to the website, christopherhole.com, go to the Contact Us page, send me an email, and what you'll be able to do is just put your name, a short little message, a brief sort of description about your running or your low back pain, and I'll be able to book you in for a session. And what we'll do on that session is look at ways in which we can overcome low back pain. Okay, well, thanks for listening. I hope it's been helpful. I'll speak to you in another video.